So welcome everybody, my name is Vera Krauth, thank you for the introduction, and I'm really glad to be here tonight. I'm going to talk to you about the connection between digital technologies, digital culture and handcrafting manufacturing techniques, because basically that is what my company is doing. I'm also glad to be here because actually it is the second time this year that my company is somehow connected to South Korea, because we have been taking part in the design of the Seoul International Book Fair's Guest of Honor Hungary's pavilion. Actually, we only made the production plans, but still we had a lot of connection. And it's really nice to have you here now. What I have brought you today is a piece of digital concrete, which is actually a development of my company. We are producing these elements to several places, and they are developed to be able to make or show information in a built environment, and in a way that it fits to the built environment. So because you usually have a lot of kind of facade panels or also pavement lightings, but usually they are not integrated, and also it is not common that they are programmable, so you can modify informations what you want to show on it. Maybe it can also be screen as well. For example, these elements are in a small town or a smaller town in Hungary. This is a typical Hungarian motif, folk motif, which is appearing in the city center on the pavement, and they turn on by the night. These elements can be used for a lot of different functions. For example, we have used them for telling stories about telling urban legends with them. Of course, you are not always able to decode these legends, but it was not really the purpose. But actually, this project was sensitive, so you could it is reacting to the people, to the movement. We have used them as a bench. Also, there are digital screens where we have pixel screens. They can be more detailed or more decorative. This is the educational trail where the different animals are lighted, and you can follow who is eating who in the woods. Or maybe it can be used for representing a star image. It is a pathway where a star image is there in the concrete. Actually, what is our main purpose with this development is to have this smart city concept integrated, or to take part in this kind of smart city concept, because we really believe that if if you have these, or actually society needs these kind of informations when the bus is coming, what is happening. We are having so many informations shown in the underground or on the streets, but usually they are not really in a design thinking way. I mean, they are not appearing in an architectural defined surface, and that is actually the aim of this development, to have a product which can cooperate with existing systems like facade systems or pavement systems, but it is still able to show informations. Let me introduce a little bit my team. This is the newest company photo of us. We are a collective of different of professionals from different fields. We have architects like me, for example. We have designers, artists, also some students from architecture and industrial design. Also graphical designers. So it is a really combined skills collective. And what is common in us, that we all in a way really into details. So somehow we came from our field to do this team because we are really interested in how the specific details of architecture can be really produced or manufactured. And also quite a lot of people in the team are really into manual work, and they can stand a week or something without doing some concrete or something. But also there are some people in the team who are really attached to the computer, and they cannot imagine not modeling in 3D anything or something. So it's really these kind of two extremities are existing together in the team. And what is also interesting that, for example, the studio owner, the studio leader, not really knows the programs that I use, and I also not really know the programs that the students use. The students use in the company, but still we work together on the project. It is important in aspect, I think, that we are not really stick to any kind of technologies or any kind of programs. We are really open. We always have an aim what we would like to do, and new people can bring new ideas how to do it. And of course it will affect the product as well. I mean, I would do it in another way than the students would, but still together it would be really nice. These two pictures represent two different kind of maps which we have been doing. One of them is concrete. I made this comparison because I think it somehow summarizes our work. This is a really handcrafted work. It is standing here quite close in the Szélkámán Square. It is at the entrance of the metro station. And it is really handcrafted. I mean, we had so many hours decorating the mold of the concrete to make it this handcrafted like a painting. And the other one is totally done digitally, laser cutting, laser engraving, LED lighting. It also has a software behind. And so it kind of, I think, summarizes what I have told you about the studio. The two of them are on totally different locations. And what is important that our scale is architectural scale. So we usually work alongside architectural projects. We join to other architect offices. For example, this was I will talk about it later, but this was this Graphisoft Park headquarters building. And this was designed by, the whole building was designed by an architect group, and we were asked to help to do this facade graphics, actually. And we made it from concept to the implementation. So we have a lot of experience in is how to get through these kind of handcrafted solutions and handcrafted ideas through an implementation process, because I don't know how is it in Korea, but in Hungary it's in a lot of ways not easy because of legal conditions and a lot of things. And we are really into these things that we want to keep these kind of unique elements, and also I think that in a way digital culture is a possibility to bring these kind of really detailed crafted works on typical like glass elements back. So it is also digitality in a way is a kind of a tool to rationalize things and make things more effective. But in another way, it can open gates which are like keys to solutions which were impossible before these kind of possibilities. Let me introduce the first project which I would like to show you. This is about remembering. This is a monument. It is in the Jewish district of Budapest. Actually, it's in Dohány Street, so it is on the border of this former Jewish ghetto. And in the same time, this is a gate of a Jewish school. So the owner of the school has decided to turn this gate to a monument. It was also designed by an architect group. It was the Radius B+S, and our task was to think about how we can do a monument in these days. You have to know that this place is directly in the center of the today Party district of Budapest. So basically, we had to answer to that question: how can we state anything about making a memory of this kind of difficult topic in this kind of really running environment, and how can we stop people? And our answer was that we made so crafted concrete surfaces that it in itself they make people stop and make people touch it, and making this gesture of remembering without even thinking about it, maybe if they are not if they don't want to because they don't have time or something. You can also look into these little holes, and there are some surprises in it, so I would advise you to do that. We also have lighting elements and lighting parts of this installation, because I think in a urban situation it is really interesting, important to have some lighting when everybody is looking at their phones. And also there is this kind of screens on the side of this project. This is the map. It is interesting because it is in the headquarters building of Graphisoft, which is, I don't know if you know Graphisoft or not, but in Hungary I think it is equal to architecture plus digitalism, because they are producing the mostly used Hungarian architectural software. So it was an interesting task. What can we do in this situation? We were asked to make a map in the lobby space of the headquarters building. It was designed by an interior architect group, because the company wanted to place something which is interesting for the visitors and the workers too, and also they wanted to indicate where the company is spreading in the world. What was interesting about this producing process, that we decided to use this Pixelate Graphics because of the topic, of course, and also there was a mosaic in the lobby space, and it was connected to it somehow. And we decided to craft these metal plates with laser engraving. And one of the reasons that this graphic is pixelated is that you always see some kind of pixelation with laser engraving, even if it's really small. We didn't want to look it as a printed something, so we decided to use pixels, and with that we covered this fact. And the other part, the water, is with sandblasting. It was actually a really manufacturing part of the process. I don't know if anybody has done anything with foil mask. Can imagine how many hours of work is this pixelate thing to put it out from the foil before. So then in these situations the whole office is like stopping and starting to picking the stickers for, I don't know, 2 days, and then we get back to the computers. And also these very small pixels on the continents are, we designed it in a way that the eye of the visitor will, or the mind of the visitor will put them together as the mountains and as this image. The Graphisoft building, I made it. I gave it the name Frozen Screensaver. Okay, I have 1 minute. It is because it was the concept actually of the inventor. This park is named after the former company, the Graphisoft, from the last project. But this is not the same company. This is a park named after them, and this was the new headquarters building. And we had to do graphics, which was making an identification and a kind of a brand for this building, which is representing kind of the same topic, because a lot of IT companies are in this park. What was interesting that we did not have the opportunity to print these things. So we didn't have the opportunity to print these because of actually the producer company did not have a printer for glass. So we really had to find out something which is in between a digital thing and a handcrafted thing. And actually our task in this project was partly the graphics, partly to convince the company to go into some handcrafted work in order to have this kind of unique graphics, because otherwise we would have to use some kind of repetitive pattern, and it would not fit completely the project. And this is interesting. Also, it has a lot of connection to digitality, but it was totally handcrafted by my handsman. It is an open air theater's gate, also a gate, actually a curtain which can go up, and the visitors can go under this curtain to the place. And this area is surrounded by forest. Actually, the name of the area, it is also in a Hungarian town. The name of the area is Great Forest. So it is really in the middle of a giant park in the city. And we wanted this object to fit into the environment. So that's why we did two things. The one first, that we made this kind of metal plates, which are working really similar as leaves. So they react on the wind, and they also reflect sunlight. So they also a little bit water-like. So they are really looking naturally if you are there, because it's moving all the time. And also they have different tones, different shade, like same like the woods. And the other thing that we do, that we took a picture from the Great Forest, and we converted it into black and white pixels. And the lengths of these leaves are on the base of these shades. So we had a number for each shade, and we converted it into a length. I have been I have been there, and I think no one has ever realized this thing behind the object, but it was not the purpose. I don't know. Maybe you can recognize something there, but it's really not visible there. It was not the purpose. The purpose was to make something which is very natural, and what is natural, which is almost random, but we wanted to hide some picture in it, and also make this theoretically fitting into the forest. So just one thing, so as to end my presentation. Thank you for having me and for this invitation. It was super interesting for us as well to think about our projects in this kind of perspective. I mean, we knew that we have this digital thinking and methods behind the project, but actually we are not purposed to have them. We are just using them naturally and connected to this thing. And it was really interesting to list the project which are most connected and somehow make them into one presentation. So thank you very much. Thank you.